Hey, beautiful people. Welcome to Knock Knock What's on Your Mind. I'm your host, Purity, and this is the space where we talk about the real stuff life, healing, love, growth, energy, and everything in between. I created this podcast because life can get heavy sometimes, and we all need a space to breathe, think, and just be heard. I know what it's like to have so much on your mind. Being a parent, chasing dreams, healing from the past, and still trying to stay grounded through it all. This podcast is my way of saying you're not alone. Here, we'll talk about everything from those deep thoughts that keep you up at night to those funny everyday moments that remind you you're human. Some days we'll get spiritual, other days we'll just get real. But every time, it'll be honest, raw, and full of love. My goal is to make this a safe space for reflection, laughter, and growth, where you can let your guard down and just be you. So grab your tea, get comfy, and let's talk about what's really on your mind. Because this right here, this is your space to feel, to release, and to grow. Welcome to Knock Knock What's on Your Mind. Let's get into it. So, first off, I can say this that today I just want to have a chill talk about starting over and rediscovering myself in the process. You know, starting over sounds cute when you say it, but when you're actually living it, it's hard, it's emotional, it's confusing. For me, I had to start over after so many moments, relationships, jobs, friendships, even versions of myself that I thought I'd always be. And recently I realized I wasn't really losing things, I was shedding things. I was outgrowing what couldn't grow with me. And that's when the real rediscovery began. Not becoming someone new, but remembering who I was before life tried to have me to forget. As a mom, I had to relearn what happiness looked like outside of just being strong for everybody else. I had to figure out what I enjoy, what I feel, what I need. Starting over scares us because it forces us to face the unknown. We get used to certain routines, people, and situations, even when they no longer serves us. Sometimes we stay in comfort zones that are slowly draining us because at least they're familiar. But what I've learned is peace feels uncomfortable at first when you've been surviving too long. Like you just eventually feel like you have to be in defensive mode. Um, you have to reteach your mind that calm doesn't mean boring. It means healing. I used to think starting over meant I failed, but now I see it means I refuse to stay stuck. You don't lose everything when you start over. I realize we only lose what was really holding us back. Um, Rediscovering yourself isn't about becoming perfect because, of course, I'm not perfect. It's about remembering who we are underneath the pain. We have so much expectations in the role that we have played for others, including ourselves. For me, it looked like reconnecting with my creative side, redesigning again. Right now, I'm podcasting again, expressing myself through my voice. And I really feel like this is my purpose. This is what I meant to do. I meant to help people. And I realized that sometimes rediscovery starts with a little things. Taking a walk alone, listen to your favorite music again, journaling your thoughts, and really stop people pleasing, learning to say no without regret and over explaining ourselves. It's about giving yourself permission to start fresh, even when nobody understands you nor your journey. There were days I didn't recognize myself, just moving through routines, showing up for everyone but me. But when I started saying, what do I want today? How do I feel? What really makes me happy? I started to feel pieces of myself coming back. Starting over teaches you patience. And I'm not gonna lie, I had plenty of issues being patient. But it shows us how to love ourselves through the process. Not just when things look good, but even when things are bad. It also shows you who you really meant to be in the new chapter of your life. Some people won't clap for your growth because they were comfortable with the old version of you. Some people can't handle it, and that's okay. Not everyone is meant to come along for this part. The real glow up isn't always visible. It's that quiet peace that says, I may not have it all figured out right now, but I'll finally listen to me, my intuition. If you're listening right now and you've had to start over, I just want you to know that it's okay to take your time. You're not behind, you're rebuilding. And I had to realize that about myself, that there was so much within me that I've been like, man, I keep going back to square one every time. Every time I'm always going backwards. I make the same mistakes over and over, continue the same cycles over and over. But that's something to be proud of later on when you actually learn from it. Starting over is the universe way of saying you deserve more. Sometimes things fall apart so the real you can step forward. God have many ways where we have our pace. Excuse me. Sometimes what works for others may not work for you, and that's okay. Don't don't rush it at all. Don't compare your new beginning to somebody else's highlight or their life. I've been through that, like to where I'm like, man, I see everyone around here do so much, and I'm still stuck in the same place. It's like moments I take action, but it's like, man, I'm still here. But then at the same time, we never know what somebody had to do to get to where they are. Just take it one small, peaceful moment at a time. And every time doubt creeps in, remind yourself, I didn't lose myself. I'm just meeting me again. And that's just something that I had to learn. I had to really learn myself again. I truly, moments where I thought that I was healing, I was healing certain parts, but I was scared to go deeper. And I was just telling somebody last night that, man, like, especially when you do shadow work, it's more like you go to the deeper part of you, and it's like, man, I didn't really thought this one particular thing was bothering me. I thought that was little to me in the past, until we realize when we go through a certain situation, it's been instilled in us to where we thought something is little, but guess what, something that little can turn into something big unintentionally. So i just so to be real with everybody, I am a single mother with two autistic kids. No, I don't have my own place yet. I don't have a car yet. There's a lot of things in my life that I'm working toward. And I know God is continuing to order every step of the way. Today episode, since this is only the introduction, I'm not going to talk too much today. I'm going to save for later on. But if today's episode touched something in you, I want you to take a few minutes after this to breathe and check in with yourself. Ask yourself, what's one small thing I can do this week to reconnect with me? Maybe it's resting more. Maybe it's journaling. Maybe it's just saying, I'm proud of how far I came. For me, I had to really know who I am. I had to really pat myself on the back and say, what all have I already achieved? What have I not told myself that I was proud of doing? You know? And even when that means I had to cut people off, I had to really be into my hermit mode. this, and it's like a lot of people I didn't really cut off. Other people I had to just disconnect myself from because I've been a type of person to seek outside opinions and validations and just want to feel accepted. And I'm willing to admit that. I'm not perfect at all. Um, yes, for me, with two autistic boys, it could be hard sometimes. But I learned how to just achieve. I know how to maneuver. And yes, there are still some things that I'm going through, but hey, as an individual, I am willing to put in the work, as much work as needed. Um, yes, I had to realize, God really loves us unconditionally, no matter what it is. That's why with me, I don't have a problem telling people I am spiritual. I'm not religious. Um, because there's a lot of things based upon my life, my testimonies, um, just seeing from outside of the box really helped me to view things differently. And I'm still in the process of gaining new perspective about everything. And I had to get off my own high horse, set boundaries, stop people pleasing, stop procrastinating, step out, like just stop walking in doubt, stop walking in fear, not being worried about rejection. So there's so many occasions it was like I was so tired of being rejected. I've been so tired of feeling overlooked. I feel so tired of being misunderstood. I'm so tired of people just choosing not to hear me. But and but just me knowing myself is like, okay, other people opinions don't matter. Yes, people can suggest things and recommend things, but at the same time, at the end of the day, it's my decision. I only follow what God tells me to. And sometimes, God have a way of speaking through people to us, and we pray about signs and everything else. And I know for me, there's plenty of occasions where I'm like, God, please show me a sign. What am I overlooking here? you know. So it's okay. It's okay to go back to square one because sometimes God will pull us back for us to actually see what exactly we need to work on so that way when we face certain things again we can know how to problem solve, we can know how to be leaders and not followers. For me, there was moments I've been a follower for so long to where I dim my own light from being a leader, if that makes sense. So our intuition tells us what we need to do, that's spirit. And there's so many occasions where God been telling me so many things and I didn't listen. I didn't listen at all. But after talking to God, it was like, you know what, God, you know, he never he never led me astray. And I have to really learn how to put my trust in him. Stop putting one foot in and one foot out. It's like we all do that. We're human. To one point in time was like, well, when everything goes well, that's when we have faith. That's when we're happy. But then as soon as things don't go our way, we go downhill and we be like, man, God, like what's going on? Everything was just good, but slow and steady wins the race. And I know for a fact I'm meant to help people because we all like the right people will connect with you. The right people will understand you. And I've realized that the people who just choose not to understand you are just, those not your people. I'm not here to judge anybody. I'm not in room to judge. Like the saying goes, like when you point fingers at somebody, just know them fingers are being pointed back at you, you know. And a lot of people tends to forget that, to where some people forget where they come from, and then it's like when they meet somebody that been in the same situation or in the same situation, some people have a tendency to think they're better than that person because now their life is so much better, but that's not the case. We all need to be there for each other. And there's going to be a time where a major shift is going to come and we're going to have to be prepared. So again, starting over is not bad. It's preventing so many things. There's a lot of things in our past that we overlook. There's a lot of things in our life where we just say, hey, you know what? That's all right. We make excuses. But when we actually pray to God to lift that veil off our eyes, to straighten our path, to lead us to what's right, He has a way of showing it. Like God showed me so many times, and of course, I'm not gonna sit here and lie. There's plenty of times I've been stubborn. I've been disobedient to God. I had to learn the hard way. I really did had to learn the hard way. But I'm grateful that it happened like that. Because if I didn't learn it, then I would have ended up being the same mentality. I wouldn't be up here today want to help people get through similar situations. I've been through depression before. It's not a good feeling. I grieved before. Yes, I've cried. And I'm not going to lie, even my temper could get the best of me. But it's a work in progress. Like, moments I have low self control, and I used to be very insecure. Even before now, I did have videos posted up, but I was just so insecure about how I look, and I was so worried about, oh well, who's going to support me? What would people going to say? Like, is this really going to, really help people? But at the same time, it's like when it's coming from the heart, it don't matter. Whoever God sends my way to watch this video, hey, it's meant to be heard, and I appreciate everyone who's listening took the time to hear it, and I just pray that I've been able to help, you know, because I just want everybody to know, like, no matter the situations, it may be different, but it's basically the same thing. And we just need to know, like, we have to pray and know that God is guiding us. God is protecting us. We just have to believe. And that's something I'm still learning to believe in myself, because how I was once upon a time, I believed in myself, but I had a tendency to dim my light to impress other people. Now it's to the point where, again, me rediscovering myself, I have to believe in myself. I had lost my confidence for a little while, but guess what? I bounced back. I lost my courage. I wasn't mindful or aware of what I was doing, my surroundings, the people, but guess what? I learned now. And I'm not ashamed to tell people my mistakes. I'm not afraid to tell people my flaws. We all are not robots. We are human. And it's a simple fact where I just don't want nobody out there to feel pressured or feel like life is, just beating them down. Sometimes it's just our own mind. We beat our own self down. And then the main thing is the people in our circle, whoever we attach to, that's who we are. There's so many occasions like I feel that God be saying, hey, get off social media for a while. So I'll get off for a little while. Or, times I try not to be on my phones in the morning, or times where I'll like change up my routine. I'll journal one day, or another day I journal at night, or, even doing your spiritual baths, even just lighting a candle, watching it burn, and just visualize things. Like there's a lot of things we can do. Exercise, read a book, draw, color, whatever, keep your mind and energy steady. A lot of people be against crystals and all this other stuff, but it's about our intention. And that's part of starting over too. Like, what's your intention of starting over? Is your intention of starting over is the fact of you want to prove people wrong, or are you really trying to heal yourself? And that's something that we need to think about. Because I've been that type of person where I was like, I can't wait till people see that I'm actually doing something. Because I'm tired of people saying this and that. But then at the end of the day, you'll be a bit surprised, despite your situation, good, bad, broke, poor. You could be the poorest person. You could be you never know who all is actually looking up to you. And I didn't realize that till later on. Like sometimes people just don't like you, and it just be like it's not about materialistic things. It's just about your light. And I've been told that so many times. It's like, man, like, people can have the same light, but you know what? There's people out here that just choose to be jealous and envious, and sometimes people just wish to be in your shoes just to turn around. They don't know what you went through in order to get where you're at. Or moments like when you're down, sometimes people just so used to seeing you down to where as soon as you come up, they don't know how to take it. Or some people do want to see you do good, just not better than them. It's crazy, it's like that, but it's true. So remember, you're not starting from scratch.